damn, you're right. It is all my fault. And yet, in that statement alone is all the power. In that statement alone, you can fix everything. Because if it's your fault, if you take responsibility for it, you can own it and make changes. So I was having this conversation, and I often find how fascinating it is that whatever you want to call it, universe, God, higher powers, angels, serendipity, whatever you refer to it as, but how frequently things just seem to be flowing in the same time. I often end up having the same kinds of conversations with different people in different times and we're across the thing. So I was talking about, you know, my work. I own a gym, I'm building out 126, I'm doing this. I aim to spend as much time humanly as possible with my family. Um, Sometimes potentially to the detriment of other areas. I spend more time with my family. But as they are the most important thing in my world, I'm willing to make that trade off. Anyway, so I was having this discussion with a friend, and I was like, here's the rub though. Get to the end of the day, usually by the time I get to sit down to do things like this, to do other content, to do building out of stuff, it's somewhere. I know a good night is 7 o'clock. I get to sit down and start. Often it's closer to 7:30, 8 o'clock. So then I'll work 3, 4 hours depending on how I'm going, and then I hit the head. But recently I've been really, really tired. Our son has not been sleeping again. He was a preemie baby and he's got separation anxiety and he just doesn't sleep the best. So there are many nights where I end up in his bed because that's the only way he sleeps. So I've been more tired from that because you just never sleep as good with a wriggle worm of a child wriggling around, as I'm sure you know. It just never turns out the same. But I've been tired, so it means that I have been kind of, sorry about that, phoning in the work a little bit. Um, I've just been doing enough to tick the box. That's about it. Like, I've been getting my list done, my 126 to greatness list done every day, but like the extra things, the stuff that is gonna push my business forward hasn't been happening. And I was talking to a friend about it, and I was explaining this, and then I got to the point and I was like, but there isn't more time. There isn't going to be more time. There isn't going to be anything that's going to really change unless I do this work. So I need to take control. It is my fault. And I'm the only one who can change this. And as I said, there is power in that. There's a great book by Jocko Willink called Extreme Ownership, and it talks about this. When you take extreme ownership of all the problems, all the things that go wrong in your life, then you're in charge. Then you can make changes. Then you can do something about it. But for as long as it's someone else's problem or someone else's fault, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. Nothing is going to change. You have to take control. You have to do the things. You have to take ownership that it is your fault. And that's empowering because now you can do something to fix it. And I had that moment when I really stepped back and go, the only way this gets better, the only way this changes is if I take the power back, I take control, I take ownership that this is my fault, and then I do the work. That's the way. That's the way it goes forward. And yeah, it's one of those things that I think us as men, especially, need to learn this skill. And clearly, fucking abundantly clearly, I'm still working on developing this skill, but it's still a skill that needs to be developed. And the better we can get at this skill of taking extreme ownership of it, the better our lives will be. Because it is a reality that we as men are going to take a brunt of this load. That there is satisfaction and fulfillment and all that kind of stuff, and being a warrior, a protector, a provider for our family. And with that comes taking ownership. But the step before that is taking care of us and taking ownership of our physical state, our mental state, our emotional state, our spiritual state. Doing the work there then allows you to do the work elsewhere. And it's a really important thing that a lot of people do not understand. And as I said, oftentimes I find I have multiples of these conversations and they just happen in different variations. It's like the universe is trying to be like, learn this fucking lesson. We're going to keep bringing it up to you in different manners till you learn the lesson. Some of the lessons are for me, some of the lessons are through other people. The other one I was having was one of the guys I'm training with, who's a mate of mine. We have a mutual friend who is, to put it kindly, basically pissing his life away. Things happened and he's now basically refusing to participate in the world. You know, doesn't get a job, won't get a job, won't do anything, everything's woe is me. And my mate especially is much closer to him and is trying everything to get him to shift, get him to do something with his life. And he's like, could he come train with us? Okay. And I was like, here's the rub for me. I'm all right with it. I am all in for helping him do this. But this is 126 to greatness. This isn't, I'll show up when I feel like it, because he's showing a history of that. You know, even to things that don't matter, like having coffee or helping out a mate. He's like, of the day, oh, no, I can't today. I just don't feel up to it. He has history of this. This is not 126. 126 is a commitment, all in. And I'm launching the official 126 start in, 31 days. So if he wants to join in that, I am all for it. I 100%, wholeheartedly believe and know that if my mate does this, he commits all in, he burns the boats, and he does this, his life will change. He'll become a different man. This will be the thing that pulls him out of it. But, and this is the big but, and this is the problem I see a lot of people who have reached out to me about joining 126 to greatness, is it has to be a commitment. You have to commit to this. This is difficult. It is difficult by design because that's where the benefits come from. It's where you gain all the extra stuff from. That's why we have to do it this way. So he needs to take extreme ownership that all the stuff going on in his life is his fault. That it didn't just happen to him. He isn't cursed. It isn't the world turning against him. It is his fault. And it is also within his power now to fix it. Because when it's your fault, you can do something about it. When it's someone else's fault, you're a victim. You are powerless. When it's the universe against you, what are you supposed to do about that? You can't. There's nothing you can do about that. It's the universe out to get you. But that's bullshit. You have to take extreme ownership of it. And realize that from this point on, you can change it. And that fucks with a lot of people. I've seen people talk about this concept before and get absolutely roasted. Even someone like Will Smith spoke about it. And he's like, when you are stuck in the victim mentality and you are the victim, you are forever there and it's not going to get better. Because for as long as you are the victim of whatever circumstance it is, you are confined to being the victim, the downtrodden, the beaten down, the woe is me. Your life will not get better from that state. It doesn't mean that what happened to you is any less horrible or horrendous or you didn't experience great pain and trauma. It doesn't mean that. But when you remove the victim status from yourself and you step forward, you are now in control and you can now improve your life and you can now reach a better place. That is what we are doing here. And that is part of what 126 is about. It is shedding all the woe is me. Oh, it's because I have bad genetics. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm too exhausted. Oh, I do too much as it is. The lists go on and on and on. Fuck no. You are in control. You're 100% in control. You can change at any moment. At any stage of life, no matter how bad things are, you can make the change. If you take extreme ownership of your situation, go, this is on me. Now it is on me to do the work. Now it is on me to make the change. This is where your greatness lies. This is where everything comes from. So we need to take extreme ownership. And there are many guys, many men, or many boys, maybe we should call them, who will never reach that point. They will stay in this victim mentality forever. They will just bob along in the stream of life, waiting to die, never stepping into their full fulfillment, never stepping into anything of greatness, of purpose, of fulfillment and satisfaction, never stepping up for their family, for their wife, for themselves. That's a sad reality. And it's a harsh one, but I truly believe that we cannot help the people who do not wish to be helped. I will gladly go to war for anyone who wants to be helped. If you want my help, I will get in the trenches and I will go to war with you and I will make it happen and we will get you there. But you have to be willing to help yourself. I will not force this upon anyone, and I have been this way a long time. There has been family and friends who we've all agreed need help, and they kind of ask for help, but they don't really want to do anything. And I'm not there for it. You know, it's an uphill battle that I will lose. And it will drain me, and it will take away from the ability that I have to help those who want the help. So I don't do it. I don't give my energy to people who won't help themselves. But if you're ready to go all in, if you're ready to accept the help, you're ready to accept ownership of what got you to this stage, because it was your choices. Whether you want to admit it or not, your choices have gotten you here. And now it's time to change them. Now is the time to do the things that have to be done. If you're ready to burn the boats, to commit all in, give it everything you have, I will be there. I will guide you. I will hold the standard and I will be your biggest cheerleader and we will get you there. I can guarantee that. We will get you there if you're willing to do the work. But that's what it takes. You have to be willing to do the work. I had someone ask me this the other day and they were like, what if I'm not fit? Like, what if I'm horrendously out of shape? Doesn't matter. What matters is attitude. What matters is conviction and commitment. The reason why, the willingness to go to war, the willingness to step up and do this work. That is what matters. Doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter how messed up your health is or how bad your life is or how in the shit it is. That stuff doesn't matter. What matters is your conviction to do the work. It's a zero choice mentality. Once we start, we are starting and we are finishing through. There are no days off. There is no backing down. We are all in on ourselves, for our kids, for our wife, for those we lead, for our future selves. We are all fucking in. So it doesn't matter where you start. In fact, as messed up as it is, if you're deeply out of shape and you're in a bad situation, good. Even fucking better. Your results will be 1,000 times better. Because you're starting from zero, but you're going straight to the stuff that makes the results. You know, you're going to see incredible fucking results. The transformation you'll see physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm a different man to the man I was 95 days ago. 100%. 110% I am a different man. But if you come from like years, decades of not looking after yourself, of not doing the work, of not keeping your word, who you will be on the other side of this is, that's exciting. That is not a reason to not do that. That's more of a reason to do it. Because you will truly become unrecognizable. I've had people lose over 30 kilos, myself included, in the 126 days. 30 kilos. That's your child, depending on how old they are. That's more than my child. It's basically my two children put together. It was technically 33 kilos. It's what I lost in 126 days. Went from fat and out of shape to shredded. And even this time, this last kick, As I said, 31 days to go. I'm dropping that body fat at the moment like no tomorrow. Imagine what you could do. Imagine what being 30 kilos lighter would feel like. Imagine the man you would be. The confidence that would build. The ability to go do anything you wanted. To chase anything you wanted. To realize that your dreams are still on the table. That you can lead by example. You can inspire your children. Inspire your wife, your friends, your family, all those around you. You could go chase something beyond what you ever dreamt possible. Because you will, regardless of where you start, you will completely shift your paradigm doing this. But if you start from, as I said, a shitty place, that is game changing. We're talking jumping timelines. We're talking completely rewriting your own history and your own future. That's exciting. So don't let the thoughts of limitations and where you're at stop you from stepping up and doing the work. It's not about where you are. It's about what's in here. It's about conviction. It's about commitment. It's about a zero choice mentality. It's about burning the boats and deciding there is no other way but forward. And there will be tough days. There will be days where you struggle with this, where you're like, I cannot do this. That's where I come in. You reach out to me. We'll put it into our community and we'll take care of you and we will sort this through. It's game time. Don't let the thoughts in your head, the excuses, the victimhood mentality hold you back any longer. It's time to go to fucking war with the man you used to be to become the man you know you should be. The husband, the father you know you should be. It is game time. And I am so ready to see you do it. So, if you're ready, you can either click the link in the bio, join the Daily Greatness mailing list. You can like, comment, subscribe here, and continue to see these daily motivational things. Hopefully soon I will have actually figured out my cameras and I can bring you the tactical stuff as well, my workouts and all that kind of stuff. Or you can just message me directly and we'll jump you straight in. We'll get you in the deep end and we'll go to work. So if you're ready, you know where to find me. Until then, keep chasing your greatness.